I have no idea how much that statement terrified my father. Look at
the bitterness is just incredible.
Braves tonight. 8 of their 9 starters have come from their own farm system. That's, in this day and age of Major League Baseball, really unbelievable. In fact, earlier this year, the Braves down in Texas had 10 men, the DH, all 10 of them from within the system.
Right off his thumbs into short center field. Andrew is retired, 1 away.
And I know Bobby Cox, John Schuerholz talked about it last night when they announced Jeff Francoeur was coming up. That graphic right there is a real tribute to all the work the fine coaching staffs, the scouts, the farm personnel of this Braves organization have put in, drafting and developing quality Major League players and quality people as well. And I know Bobby would be the first to be in line to salute those guys.
Adam LaRoche is the batter, and the other guy is John Smoltz, who pitched in the Atlanta organization at Richmond for a full year before making it to the big leagues. So while he came up in the Detroit organization, he was only in the minor leagues for 3 years, and a year and a half of that was with the Atlanta organization.
Yeah, your farm system's used for a couple of different things. Number one, to supplant Major League talent, veteran players, as they move along, and secondly, to help you trade for what you don't have.
Good off-speed breaking ball. 1 and 2. The Tigers made that deal to get Doyle Alexander, who helped them get in the playoffs. The Braves at the time were going nowhere, made the deal looking to their future, and it worked out well for both. There's a solid hit. Burnett's over. Good play to cut it off and hold him at first base. So LaRoche, bad shoulder and all, singles to right field. By the way, he has 11 homers and 50 RBIs. Julio Franco now with 7 homers, 28 RBIs. So that's 78 runs batted in already from your first base position. Granted, a few of them have come as pinch hitters, but tremendous production at first base when you put the 2 of them together. Here's Brian McCann. Fouls it back 0-1. McCann hitting .333 with a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. He is a good-looking young player.
Pretty hefty compliment when John Smoltz enjoys throwing to a rookie catcher.
I'll say this, if all ball players could get the mindset that John Smoltz has at this stage in his career, they'd be much better off. He's the most relaxed, easygoing guy. Once the game starts, he's all business, but he doesn't fret over it before the game or after the game. Just go do your job best you can. That should be 2. And it is. And the inning is over. 1-6-3, no score after 2.
Well, Dad, are you ready for your 2005 Major League Baseball All-Star Game?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Tune in for all the action live from Detroit Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. And remember, this one counts.
It does count as to who gets home field advantage in the World Series, even though it's a meaningless All-Star game, and should be a lot of fun. Corey Patterson leads off the 3rd and hits the first pitch on the ground. 1 pitch, 1 out.
You know what? It's almost like Corey Patterson doesn't want to get to 2 strikes because he's worried about striking out. Last year with the Cubs, he swung at the first pitch something along the lines of 72% of his at-bats.
Well, it's okay if you get good pitchers, but pitchers are going to figure that out.
That's exactly right. And Patterson dropped all the way to 8th for Dusty Baker in this Cub lineup.
Jerome Williams 0 for 7 this year, 123 in his career. He's big enough to hit the ball a long way. 6'2", about 235.
There we go. Come on.
1 out, nobody aboard. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. Baltimore 2-1 over the Red Sox in the 3rd inning. Mark Fine is standing by in our studios with an update. We'll bring that to you in just a moment. And the pitch is a strike, and we'll see you, Jerome. Here's Mark.
All right, thanks, Skip. Here you go. Milwaukee Brewers and the Florida Marlins a little earlier today. Already 5-3 Florida when Carlos Delgado tells Ricky Bottalico to get. Grand slam home run, 10th variety of his career. It's 11-3 Florida, the final.
Okay, Mark, thank you. And Nafi Perez is the batter. He grounded to second his first time on the day. Perez 0 for 5. Some of us finding out what working for a living is like today. You get to the ballpark at 11, leave the ballpark about 11.
Yeah, what's that like?
It beats heavy lifting. 1 ball, no strikes. Of course, guys like you and Diamond get here at 6:30.
I was here earlier than that. I can't speak for Glenn.
Neither can he. That's the beauty of it. 1-1 the count. Glenn is our hard-working producer. We couldn't get along without him, maybe. Pitch swung on, lined into left center. Kelly Johnson on the move, and he hauls it in. And another easy inning for John Smoltz. He's walked one, but allowed no hits.
If you want to do more with your home and your budget, you can. Because the Home Depot is driving down the cost of home.
Bottom of the third, Jeff Francoeur about to make his major league debut. And here to tell you about it, Chip Terry.
Hi, Dad. Thank you very much. Standing ovation for Jeff Francoeur. Yet another native Atlantan on this 25-man roster for the Braves. All the way up from Double-A Mississippi. And he faces Jerome Williams in a scoreless third inning tonight. No balls and a strike. Francoeur in 84 games at Double-A. Hit .275, 13 homers, 13 stolen bases, and knocked in 62.
28 doubles.
0-1. And the count evens a ball and a strike to Francoeur. From Parkview High School. Broken bat, bouncing ball to Ramirez at third. 1 man down. He grounds out, but that's an unforgettable moment, I'm sure.
Now he can say what millions of us dream about when we're kids. I am a major league ball player.
1 at bat, 1 broken bat for Francoeur. Here's Pete Orr, the Braves' 8th place hitter tonight, batting in place of Wilson Bedemet. Pete at .302 with a homer and 6 driven in. The Cubs think he might try to bunt. And Orr jumps ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Francoeur turned down a college football scholarship at Clemson to play for the Braves organization.
He was a defensive back and a very, very good one.
(3-0). Orr takes a strike. He led Parkview to the Georgia State 5A championship in baseball. And as a football player, not too shabby either. Full count to Pete Orr. Just a terrific young athlete. And Pete Orr slaps that ball to Todd Hollinsworth in left for out number 2, and it brings up John Smoltz. John joking a couple of days ago that with the international flair that is going to take place at the home run hitting contest at Comerica Park, he was ready to represent Italy.
He's a beauty, boy. He told me his theory for tonight.
It's to hit the ball deep in the hole at short reach as Nafi Perez can't come up.
He's really upset. He planned to miss that ball to get a breaking ball. Then he was going to hit it out to right center, but bad luck. The ball hit his bat. He gets a hit.
Third hit of the night for the Braves. And the order turns over to Rafael Furcal, who singled, stole second, was picked off.
Tell you what, he probably won't do it, but he could steal a base. He is a terrific athlete. Smokes.
Well, he's been complaining of a balky hamstring. In fact, in his last start against the Phillies, John went 6 innings in that game and said he was as tired after that game as he has ever been as a major league player. And of course, the Braves wanting to be very cautious with John Smoltz got him out of the game before he had a chance to hurt himself. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Furcal. Scoreless game. The Braves have outscored the Cubs 15-1 in this series so far. And Jerome Williams matching Smoltz strike for strike. This guy's a quality major league pitcher. He won 10 games with the Giants last year. Had some arm problems, took some bone spurs out of his elbow. I was really kind of surprised the Giants gave up as much as they did to get LaTroy Hawkins. He came over from Chicago. Hawkins, one of the best setup men in baseball, pressed into 9th inning duty with Chicago and just frankly didn't get the job done. And it served his best interest to ship him out west. They got Williams, be a back of the rotation starter, and David Ardsma, a former Giants #1 pick, who's a closer and is doing so for the Cubs organization at their AAA team in Iowa. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it's full. John will be running, you'd figure. Dan, I know you were wondering when his last stolen base was. It was 1997.
I remember it very well.
Big lead for John. They play behind him. There he goes. And the pitch right back to the mound, and Williams, a lucky grab. Furcal hits a rope, but he's retired. And as we go to break, look at the reflexes of Jerome Williams as we're still scoreless.
I detail all these cars for a living. When they first gave me the product, I wasn't sure what it was. It didn't have a label on it. Beautiful. I could ask.
Chip, here's today's Aflac trivia question. Just a second. Of the 6 Metro Atlanta prep players on today's rosters, who was drafted the highest? We'll have the answer for you in a half inning. Let you cogitate on that for a while.
And think about it, too. Macias, Walker, and Ramirez coming up. Scoreless game. Macias struck out swinging his first time up. Macias, a former Montreal Expo, pretty good utility man for the Cubs. And John misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. As our game goes on, John chasing down a milestone tonight. He's 4 strikeouts away from 2,500 in his big league career. And he's got excellent stuff. When you can throw that fastball through the eye of a needle over the inside corner like Smoltz can do, like Mark Pryor was doing earlier today for the Cubs, you're going to rack up a lot of wins. John has done that. Ball too low, 2 balls and a strike. Braves will host Milwaukee starting tomorrow night. As you look at Pryor, suffered the 6-0 defeat in the afternoon portion of today's doubleheader. Still pretty remarkable, frankly, that Pryor's been able to come back and pitch at all. He took a line drive off his elbow and had a hairline fracture in his right arm. As both he and Kerry Wood are back, Cubs are hoping to ride their arms into a postseason berth in the second half. Macias, a flare into left, and Kelly Johnson will play it safely. That's the first Cub hit. And Macias can steal a base. He's on in front of Todd Walker. Walker playing first base for the Cubs. Derek Lee is out. Lee hurt himself swinging the bat a couple of nights ago. Some irritation in Lee's shoulder, something that's been bothering him for about 2 weeks. In fact, Lee was not going to participate in the home run challenge have the All-Star break to give the arms a chance to heal up a bit. So Walker, who's about 7 games in his life over at first base, manning that position out of necessity for the Cubs. Walker 2 out of 4 against Smoltz in his career is a double play candidate if he can get the ground ball. That one skied left center field and is trouble. Andrew Jones can't get it. He'll play it on a hop, and Macias on his way to third. Walker to second with a sliding double. So the Cubs in business, second and third with nobody out. The heart of the order coming up.
I wonder why Furcal cut this ball off. He may not have known the runner was going on the wet track out there. Andrew got fooled a little bit. The ball almost stopped dead. He had to wait for it. That cost him a half step. He made a strong throw, and they might have had a play had it not been cut off.
So Ramirez, the hitter, he's got 52 RBIs. He's thinking of a gapper here or nothing else. A deep fly ball to put the Cubs in front. They haven't led in a game since last Wednesday, and they lead now. Base hit to right field. 1 run scores. Walker will stop at third. Francoeur short hops the cutoff man. A base hit for Aramis Ramirez. 3 straight of those to start the 4th inning, and the Cubs are in front 1-0.
Strange, isn't it? He breezes through 3 innings and now nothing but trouble. Francoeur tries to do the right thing here. He tries to hit the cutoff man, but he short-armed the ball a little bit.
And that brings up Todd Hollandsworth. He too grounded out his first time up. Hollandsworth, injury plagued throughout his career. He has really had bad luck staying healthy over the course of a full season. Last year with Chicago, fouled the ball off his right shin. That's why he wears that protective device on the right leg. Damaged the nerve in his leg. He couldn't feel his foot for a couple of weeks. That's how badly he was hurt. And at the time, he was having a terrific run for the Cubs. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 Chicago. Fly ball center field. Andrew Jones will gather. There's the catch. Walker will tag and score without a throw. Hollandsworth, the sacrifice fly. It's 2-0. $29 RBIs for Hollandsworth. And Andrew, the wise thing, give them what they earn. Try to stay out of a gigantic inning. Here's Burnitz. John Smoltz, with a 5-game win streak, had given up just 7 earned runs during that streak for Atlanta. He's given up 2 so far tonight. And Burnitz ahead in the count, 1-0. Much different is this Chicago franchise without Sammy Sosa playing right field every day. Burnitz has done a respectable job of replacing him. It was a ugly divorce between Sosa and the Cubs during the offseason. Sosa giving up a guaranteed year on his contract, and the Cubs paying a gigantic portion of that contract to send him off to Baltimore and the Orioles. Two balls, no strikes to Burnitz. Ground ball toward Marcus at second. He'll flip to Furcal, and on to first, a double play. Slickly turned up the middle. Burnitz rolls into an inning-ending double play, but the Cubs strike first and lead by 2.
What is this?
Well, the Cubs have drawn first blood here tonight, and in the 4th inning, Kelly Johnson leads off. Giles and Jones will follow him as we wrap up a 4-game series here tonight. Kelly struck out his first time and quickly in an 0-2 hole is he. 27 strikeouts for Johnson and hitting .252. Williams working very, very quickly, finding an early inning rhythm. He's been a good pickup for Chicago. Off the thumbs, shallow left. Hollingsworth can't get there. A blue pit for Kelly Johnson. A tying run will come to the plate. Marcus fly to right his first time. He's 1 out of 4 in his career against Jerome Williams. Marcus seeing that RBI total get to 30. He's been piling them up as Johnson and Furcal have been on base a lot of late in front of him. 1 ball, no strikes.
The thing about Marcus Giles I think we lose sight of is how good a defensive player he has become.
Line drive left field. 2 on with nobody out. Second time through the order. Braves getting some good swings here.
Time for our Aflac trivia question once again. Here it is. Cue the duck, thanks. And the answer is Corey Patterson, who was the 3rd pick in the first round in the '98 draft. Michael Barrett was a first-round pick, 28th. Francoeur 23rd. McCann 2nd round. Boyer 3rd round. Kyle Davies 4th round choices. So there's your Aflac answer. Good, Duck.
Andrew Jones with 27 home runs. Franchise record for the Braves before the All-Star break, 28. Andres Galarraga did that. One here would put the Braves in front 3-2. Andrew ahead. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson and Giles aboard. Andrew Jones in the box. Breaking ball of beauty evens up the count. Perfect night it's turned out to be. Lots of rain here in Atlanta the last 2.5 days. 70 degrees or so at the ballpark tonight. 2 balls and a strike. A little roller slowly hit toward Ramirez. He'll get 1 for sure, and that's it. Good hard slide by Marcus Giles to make it tough on Macias. Braves have runners at the corners with 1 out.
Cubs very fortunate that ball didn't wind up in the Braves dugout. Giles did a great job, and Macias missed the bag badly.
And Todd Walker a good bit of work over at first to come off the bag and keep the ball in play. Here's LaRoche. Adams singled his first time up. He was erased on an inning-ending double play back in the 2nd. Braves are trying to sweep the Cubs. Low, 1 ball, no strikes. Last time the Braves swept the Cubs in a 4-game series, 1992. Hard hit ball. Todd Walker smothers, steps on the bag for 1, throw to second, not in time. A run is in. It's 2-1. When Walker stepped on the bag after the bobble, that took away the force play at second, and that little extra bit of work over at first cost him a force play and a chance to get Andrew Jones, who was hustling down the line.
Yeah, Walker might have been better advised to go right away to second base. But in fairness to him, I think this is the 9th game he's ever played at first. Everybody says you can stick a guy at first base. It's easy. It's not easy at all to play first base well. It's easy as far as throwing, but other than that,
Here's McCann. And again with Derek Lee out. He's a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. Out of necessity, Walker has to play over there. Worked on that in spring training this year and last year with Chicago. A hit could tie the game for McCann. It's 2-1. Chicago in front. Way high. 2-0 the count. The old adage in baseball, just when you think you have enough pitching, if you can get more, get more. That's what Jim Hendry did for the Cubs. But with all the injuries they have, the question is, will they have enough to make a playoff run? They are way behind in the National League Central. The Cardinals are running away with that race.
Well, a lot of it's going to depend on how badly Derek Lee's hurt. If he's gone for any amount of time, I don't like their chances. If he's not, they got some hope.
3-0 count. Taking all the way was McCann. Cubs are 6 behind the Braves in the wild card in the National League as we enter game 2 tonight. But Dusty Baker's worked his magic before in San Francisco and in Chicago. Maybe he'll be able to do it again this year. 3-1 pitch, out of play, foul. 3-2 your count.
I think a lot of it has to do with the broadcasting, but I don't know.
Meanwhile, back at the game, it's a 2-1 score. Andrew, a good lead out at second. Here comes the payoff pitch. And McCann takes ball 4, and Jeff Francoeur hits for the second time tonight. First walk for Williams, who has pretty good control. Michael Barrett out of the box as the Francoeur family looks on as Jeff hits for the second time tonight. A hit could tie the game. Arms in the outfield. Burnett's terrific. Patterson pretty good. Hollinsworth accurate and left. But remember, all the wet weather here in Atlanta means that outfield's going to be awfully soggy, and the defenders will have to throw a wet baseball.
This is when you'd like to get in this kid's head and say relax, but
Sure.
how do you relax?
0-1 the count. You saw in that graphic he was selected to play in the All-Star Futures game in Detroit. Now that he's here in the big leagues, will he still be able to play in that?
I don't think so. I'm not sure how that works, but I don't believe that if he's on a major league roster, his future has already arrived.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out. A run in for the Braves in the 4th. It's 1-2.
Got right, Jeffrey.
Yeah, the Futures game, Glenn Diamond tells us, is Sunday. It's not during the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday portion of the All-Star break. So since he'll be on the major league roster Sunday, he won't play anyway. Threw it right on past, and the inning is over. A run on a couple of hits. Andrew Jones left stranded. The Braves are on the board 2-1 at the end of 4.
I want to.
Braves TBS Baseball, brought to you by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. And by Coca-Cola Classic. Make it real.
Beautiful sunset tonight in Atlanta. First time we've seen the sun fall below the horizon in the last couple of days. And Atlanta's own Michael Barrett leads off the Cubs' 5th. He fly to right and ended the 2nd inning for Chicago. 0-2 is your count. Smoltz gave up 3 straight hits and 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Braves came back a moment ago and scratched across their first run of the night. And here we go into the 5th inning. No balls, 2 strikes to Barrett. And that'll set up the outside corner for him. John pretty economical tonight. He's trying to win his 10th game of the year. Who would have thunk that after his opening day start with the Marlins? Did he go? No. Ball 2.
I don't think he went either. Ah, good call.
Fly Fly ball center field. Andrews there. Adam reaching, 2 outs. Here's Corey Patterson. What are the Cubs going to do with Patterson? 1 out, I beg your pardon, as Patterson's up. They've tried him in the leadoff spot. Has not done very well there. They haven't really had a place to hit him in the middle of the order, which is where I think Corey thinks he should hit. And now Dusty Baker's got him hitting 8th in hopes that that'll awaken the bat. But Patterson spent a lot of time as a leadoff man, and look at that stat. Out of 313 at bats, 61 of them one pitch. This will be the 62nd, and if he can do that, he'll hit leadoff. A perfect bunt, and Patterson is on with 1 out in the 5th.
And Dusty has to be happy about that. The drag bunt, couldn't do it any better. Smoltz, if he had it to do over, goes to the bag, but Patterson would have beat the rap anyway.
Last August for Chicago, Patterson put in a lot of extra time with Gene Kleins, the Cubs hitting coach, to do just that. He had a great month. And then he got away from it in September and got away from it again this spring. And he's got tremendous power in a little man's body. He can hit 25 home runs or more. But the way the Cubs want to have their team put together, they've got to have him be pesky and be on base. Strike 1 to Williams, who tries to bunt.
Here's a guy hitting 230 and he has 12 stolen bases, so if he hits 280 or 290, he's going to steal a bunch.
And the home runs will come just with him showing any kind of plate discipline. He's a terrific player. Cubs thought enough of his baseball family. They drafted his brother Eric last year. He's in the Cubs minor league system. 1 ball, 1 strike to Williams.
And his dad played in the NFL for a year or 2. One
ball, 1 strike to Jerome Williams. Lays down a beautiful bunt. Roche makes the play. Sacrifice 3-4. Patterson to second with 2 outs. Top of the order coming up for the Cubs. But first we rejoin Mark Fine.
All right, thanks, Chip. Yankees and the Tribe, and don't look now, but Jason Giambi is getting hot. 4th home run in his last 8 at-bats. Alex Rodriguez said we're a completely different lineup now with Jason. Yankees lead it 3-2. Back to you guys.
And Mark, the interplay tonight just 4.5 games behind the Red Sox, who are losing to Baltimore tonight. Baltimore 4 back in a 4-team race in the East. Toronto's creeping in there. They're only 5.5 games out of the Blue Jays.
Boston's going to use Kurt Schilling out of the bullpen for a while, huh?
And he said he's all for it. Terry Francona said the same. Interesting strategy as Perez 0 for 2 tonight. Terry Francona's logic being that he thinks that the way Kurt Schilling is having trouble repeating his delivery with that offseason ankle surgery, he'll be much more effective and much more comfortable pitching an inning or two or 3 times a week out of the bullpen than pitching once every 5 days, trying to repeat that delivery for 7 innings. High fly to left. Kelly Johnson near the line, and in foul ground has room. Mayfi Perez continues his struggles in this series. A hit, 1 man left, middle of the game, 2-1 Chicago.
Starting tomorrow night for 3 nights in a row.
I feel comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life. I object.
Reese Witherspoon, Legally Blonde, with 3 chances to watch, beginning tomorrow night at 9 on TBS.
Good ball game tonight at Turner Field. It's 2-1 Chicago with Pete Orr, John Smoltz, and Rafael Furcal coming up. Pete flied out his first time in tonight's game. A lot of fans might wonder, with the call-up of Jeff Francoeur, what was the corresponding roster move for the Braves? Seth Greisinger has been released from his contract by the Braves, and he will sign a contract with the Kia Tigers to pitch in the Korean Baseball League. So Francoeur takes his spot on the 40-man roster.
And on the 25-man roster, Brian Jordan disabled.
To the disabled list. Or taking all the way, 3 balls and a strike. Full count now at 3-2. Back to that Kurt Schilling story. Having him in the bullpen might pay some other dividends for the Red Sox. Keith Folk is really hurting. He's had knee surgery. He's going to be lost for 6 weeks. We saw him pitch against the Braves up in Boston, and Braves hit him pretty hard. So Boston might be looking for somebody to close games out by the end of the month.
So is
Barrett and Williams.
So is just about everybody looking for bullpen help.
There's Larry Rothschild, fine pitching coach of the Chicago Cubs. It's been an exasperating year for him. The Cubs are in the middle of the pack as far as team earned run average is concerned. They've had a couple of problems. One, Wood and Pryor have been out. Carlos Zambrano has been enigmatic. They haven't had a closer until Ryan Dempster stepped up. 3-2 count. Pete stays alive. But Larry, I'm sure, would agree with Leo Mazzoni in that what a pleasure it is to go to work with pitchers the caliber of the men he has with that Chicago franchise. Or aboard a leadoff walk. Good start. Smoltz will be sacrificing, you figure. He's got 5 of those. Williams upset with himself, nursing a 1-run lead. Puts a speedy man on. Couple of options. You could try to straight steal with Pete Orr. He's got good speed. We mentioned earlier Barrett not the best thrower in the National League. Let's see how Bobby plays it. Cubs think John's going to try to bunt. Walker holds a man at first. Aramis Ramirez in on the grass at third for Chicago. John is going to try to bunt, and he does so but foul. 0-1. No balls and a strike. Pitch out. Even count. You mentioned the Dodgers all banged up with Cesar Izturis and company hurt for the Dodgers. Jimmy Rollins and Billy Wagner were named to the All-Star team to replace Izturis and Pedro Martinez. Pedro's going to start on Sunday for the Mets, so he wouldn't be able to pitch anyway. Delivery to Smoltz, got the bunt down. Todd Walker fields and fires to first. Good sacrifice for John. Tying run in scoring position in the 5th, and again we rejoin our pal Mark Fine.
All right, thanks, Chip. Time for today's All-State good hands play. For that, we go back to Marlins and Brewers. Jeff Jenkins shot to center. Check out Juan Pierre, fully extended. Marlins get the win. Pierre gets the All-State good hands play. Back to the ball.
Thank you very much, Mark. Brewers split that 4-game series with Florida on the road. Milwaukee, despite a 40-45 record, a much improved team under Ned Yost. He's really got that club going in the right direction. And we'll see them here tomorrow night. Here's Furcal. He's hit a couple of rockets tonight. One right back through the box that Jerome Williams on his follow-through speared with the glove across his body somehow. And that robbed Furcal of a base hit. Swing and a drive, hammered deep right field. Burnitz will turn, and that one into the bullpen. A 2-run homer, and the Braves are in front.
This little guy is really strong. A low fastball, and he got all of it. It was tailing away, but Burnitz knew when it was touched off. 4th hit of the day for Furcal, 2 in each game.
So Furcal has 6 home runs on the year. The Braves are in front by a run, and Kelly Johnson, the hitter. All this started with a leadoff walk in the 5th inning, and for Furcal, his first homer since June 16th in Cincinnati. So Smoltz now ahead and a chance to get to 10 wins, but still a ways to go here tonight. There's an old saying in baseball that a team is never as good as they look during a winning streak and never as bad as they look during a losing streak. And there's another base hit to right. Kelly is 2 out of 3. But right now this Cub team, as seemingly they do every second half of the season, has a look about it as if to say, what in the world's going to happen next? And Larry Rothschild will make his first visit to the mound tonight.
You know, and I think one of the problems with the Cubs is, just as an outsider, all these years of futility and frustration, just looking at their media guide, they've got 4 guys on the cover who are great players. Billy Williams, Fergie Jenkins, Ernie Banks, and Ryan Sandberg. What about the guys who are playing now? I think it's time that the Cubs' history has been well chronicled. It's wonderful, except it hasn't been successful in wins and losses. Why not concentrate on what you got going for you now?
When that's all you have is that link to the past, that might be one reason why. As Giles stands in, he's 1 for 2 tonight. I mean, it's almost sacrilegious to not talk about the 69 Cubs and all the great players they had on that team.
69 Cubs should have won the pennant, had it won and didn't do it. So big deal.
0-1 the count to Giles. And a snap throw to first.
It's a wonderful franchise with maybe the best fans in baseball,
No
certainly amongst them. But Ron Sando doesn't play there anymore.
0-1 the count. Way upstairs. Well, my old partner Steve Stone was asked all the time when we'd be on the road together by veteran fans of the Cubs, when are the Cubs going to win? Are they going to win a World Series in my lifetime? And Steve's standard response was very simply, how long are you planning to live?
He's a beauty too.
Popped up back toward us. Barrett won't have a play. But I know no one's frustrated more than Andy McPhail, the fine president of that Cub organization, Jim Hendry, their general manager, Dusty Baker, John McDonough, their marketing director. They have as you said, a great history, a great tradition. But unfortunately, we're in a bottom line business where winning and losing is what's remembered. Little flare, shallow right. Long run, Burnitz. Can he get there? He cannot. Blue pit. Around second, Johnson on his way to third. He never hesitated. Excellent base running by Kelly Johnson. And the Braves are finding some holes here in the 5th. First and third with 1 out and 2 in.
Right off the end of the bat, but that's what Giles can do. He'll go the other way with you if you pitch him away. And Kelly, once he gets going, really turns it on here. Makes it without a throw. I might as well have a big inning.
Swing and a miss. Left-hander is Will Ullman up now in the Chicago bullpen.
Or as Joe Simpson would say, Will, oh man.
That's happened a time or two to him this year as well. 0-1 the count. Nearly hit it.
Joe's at the beach for a couple of days in his Speedo having a big time.
That's a real bad vision. 1 ball, 1 strike. Broken bat. Walker can't get there. Think Joe's going to be running wind sprints with Gabe?
No, not this year. He pulled both hamstrings last year, so I think he'll take a pass.
Braves have taken a 3-2 lead on a Rafael Furcal homer. Andrew will try to extend the lead here with 1 out. Fifth inning's been magical already today. Talked about it in our open. The Braves scored 5 runs on 5 hits in the 5th inning in game 1, sent 9 men to the plate. 2 runs in, 3 hits. And Andrew, the 6th man to hit in game 2's 5th inning. That's a pitch that teams keep throwing to Andrew, and early in the season that's a pitch he'd be missing by a foot. When you're going as hotly as he is, that's a pitch you foul off. Keep the at bat alive and hope the pitcher makes a mistake. Two balls, 2 strikes. Good at bat continues here for Andrew. Braves will host Milwaukee here tomorrow night. Jorge Sosa and Doug Davis at 7:35 on Turner South. Kyle Davies, Ben Sheets Saturday night at 7:05. Roman Colon and Chris Capuano wrap up the first half of the year on Sunday. The pitch. A little ground ball towards short. Perez to second for 1. On to first 2, a double play. And that'll retire the side. Andrew was reaching and is retired, but not before the Braves take the lead on a 2-run homer from Rafael Furcal.
This July.
Armor All game summary. 5th inning magic for the Braves today in game 1. Julio Franco's 3-run homer, the big blow, capping a 6-0 Atlanta win. And a few moments ago, Rafael Furcal rips a 2-run shot to put the Braves in front 3-2. And here we go to the 6th inning.
And Jose Macias slashes one past Orr. That'll be a base hit, as Furcal was unable to come up cleanly. The way Macias runs, he probably wouldn't have gotten him anyway. So the tying run is aboard with nobody out.
Macias waits on it and just finds a perfect spot. A little bit of an in-between hop. Even if Furcal gets it, you're right, Macias probably would have beaten it.
Todd Walker is the batter. He's flied to left and doubled. The double was to left center, and he takes low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
And with that in mind, look at where Andrew Jones is playing in center field. He's moved over 3 or 4 steps toward left center field with Walker up there.
Tying run at first, nobody out. Well, it's nice to know that Joe Simpson is looking in tonight.
Yeah, we've gotten a rash of emails from him tonight.
The 1-0 pitch is right there. It's 1-1. We're live from Turner Field in Atlanta. Braves lead it 3-2. Macias edges away. He has a couple of stolen bases. A little chopper toward first. LaRoche goes to second. Close, but they got him. So they keep the runner out of scoring position. There's a runner at first, 1 out. And Aramis Ramirez is the batter.
Interesting strategy there by Dusty Baker. Some teams would bunt in that situation, try to get the runner in scoring position and set it up for Ramirez, Hollandsworth, and or Burnitz. Dusty didn't that time, and the Braves able to get a speedier runner. Now you have Walker, who doesn't run nearly as well at first, and Ramirez, a guy that can hit into a double play with the best of them as well.
He can also hit the ball a long way. He's got 18 homers. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. He has been quiet. He's got an RBI single in this game, was hitless in the first game, so he's 1 for 6 on the day. And there's a drive into deep left field. That ball's got a chance. It's gone. Make it 19 homers and 4-3 Chicago. Not so quiet right now. A 2-run jack. A line drive. Kelly Johnson had no chance.
There have been over 120 men in the history of the Cubs organization who have played at least one game at third base since Ron Santo was traded. Ramirez, the latest, and he's going to be there for a while. He has really turned around the Cubs franchise fortunes as far as that position is concerned. They got him in a trade from the Pirates July 22nd, 2003, and he carried him to Game 7 of the NLCS.
Todd Hollandsworth, the batter, takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, that's a revolting development. 4-6-0 for the Cubs, 3-8-0 for the Braves. Hollandsworth fouls it away. A ball and a strike. Ground ball to short should be easy. Furcal up and firing. 2 down. Watching Furcal throw reminds you of another Cub of years gone by, Sean Dunston.
Now, Mark Grace over at first base used to have his first baseman's glove re-webbed about 3 times a year. Dunston had such a good arm. The Cubs at one point thought about putting him in the bullpen and making him a closer.
Jeremy Burnett's the batter. It's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Yankees now 6-2 over Cleveland in the 6th. Baltimore 2-1 over the Red Sox in the 6th. Toronto 3-2 over Oakland in the 6th. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 are out, nobody's on, but 2 runs are in. Over the outside corner, 2-1. .379 feet, the tail of tape on Ramirez homer. Into the Atlanta dugout. It's 2-2. We're in the 6th. The Braves won the daytime portion of the doubleheader, 6-0. There's a drive, but foul. People who gamble on sports events are nuts. Here the Cubs have lost 7 in a row. They haven't had a lead in a week. They get shut out 6-0, get just 3 crummy hits in the first game. And they're facing the hottest pitcher Atlanta's got. And they lead 4-3 in the 6th inning.
It's the old reverse lock game.
Yeah.
You just think from the Braves perspective there's no way they can lose the game. Maybe that's the way the Cubs are playing. They've got nothing to lose. Come out loose and play well.
Foul tipped. McCann could not hold on, had no chance. Still 3-2. Yeah, you'd load it in on the Braves if you were a gambler, you would think, in this game. So far that would not be a good bet, but a long way to go. We're in the 6th. And he walked him. Walk number 2 for Smoltz in the contest. And Michael Barrett is the batter. Barrett 0 for 2. He is 5 out of 16 in his career against Smoltz, a home run included. Runner at first, 2 out. If Boston loses in the American League East, Baltimore will move to within 3, and the Yankees, if they win, to within 3.5 of the lead, and Toronto to within 4.5 of first place if they win their game. A ball and a strike. John has slowed down noticeably here. I don't know if he's hurting. We did have a peek into the dugout between innings. They were retaping his ankle after the fielding play on which he went after the Corey Patterson bunt an inning ago. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or not. Had a good pitch there. 1-2 the count.
82 of them unofficially for John so far in the game.
That's a lot for him in this time in his career. A ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 out.
He's had 130 innings for the year. Remember, this is a guy that's been pitching out of the bullpen the last couple of seasons for the Braves.
They chase the runner back. And the 1-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Smoltz came in 4th in the National League in innings. Ron Hernandez first. Oswalt and Carpenter of Houston and St. Louis tied at 129 1/3.
And this guy's 38 years old. It's amazing. He runs it full, 3-2. So the runner, Burnetz, will be running with a payoff pitch. You see Corey Patterson waiting on deck. "4-3 Chicago," our score. Runner goes. He lost him. So back-to-back walks for Smoltz, which is really unusual.
And here's the play we're looking at. John Smoltz on a bunt from Corey Patterson, went after the baseball, then at the last moment there changed directions. Don't know if he tweaked something on that particular play, but Jeff Porter, the Braves trainer, taping up the right big toe, it looks like, of John Smoltz, and that's the drive foot for a right-handed pitcher.
Corey Patterson beat out that bunt his last time. He can do some damage here, but the pitch is down and in, and John wants a new baseball. He's all over the place all of a sudden. 1 ball, no strikes. The runners lead, and the 1-0 pitch. Time called. Patterson steps out. He chased a bad ball there, down and in. 1-1 the count. There's an example, and it happens to all hitters, where you're looking for a pitch, you guess, and you guess wrong, and you wind up with that kind of swing.
Or you're determined, no matter what the pitch is, with the count you have, to swing. And Corey did that as well.
The runners edge away. They're 2 out in the inning. Way outside. He is all over the place. 2 balls and a strike. No activity in the Atlanta bullpen. Right in there with a breaking ball. It's 2-2.
2 places you can go to get Patterson. A high riding fastball away from him, or that breaking ball in the dirt.
2-2 the count. Jerome Williams, the pitcher, is next. Full count, and the runners will go. He's walked 2 in a row. He went to 3-2 on both of them, and he goes 3-2 on Corey Patterson, and he's up to 91 pitches in the game.
And give Patterson credit, a guy that usually is very impatient at the plate. In this situation with 2 guys on, has worked the count to 3-2.
And the payoff pitch. Runners go. A rocket, but foul. Still 3-2. He was way out in front on that one, but hit it hard. Don't forget Milwaukee in here over the weekend, 7:35 tomorrow night. That one will be on Turner South, as will Saturday's 7:05 game, as will Sunday's 1:05 game, all against Milwaukee. The 3-2 pitch again. High pop, short center for call out. And the inning is over. But the Cubs take the lead, and John Smoltz limping a bit as he heads toward the Atlanta dugout.
TNT, brought to you by Hanes. Look who we've got our Hanes on now. And by Wedding Crashers, starring Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. In theaters July 15th.
Adam LaRoche leads off the Atlanta half of the 6th inning. Jerome Williams has himself the lead again. But Atlanta gets to bat last in this game. 1 ball, no strikes. You can see he has labored a bit in the last 2 innings. Blaine Boyer is throwing in the Atlanta bullpen. Good breaking ball there, 2-1. I don't know if that man, John Smoltz, can continue.
Here's the last pitch from John, ending the Chicago 6th. And it's the right foot. And you see him limping off. Remember, John's also had some hamstring problems that really plagued him in his last start against the Phillies, and it is a muggy night, not a cool one. It's about 70 degrees here at the ballpark.
The 3-2 pitch, right up to shoot. A can of corn for Corey Patterson. 1 out. LaRoche is retired. Brian McCann will be the hitter. Hard to believe, but a month ago, 1/3 of the Atlanta lineup today was playing in Mississippi in Double-A ball.
Again, 8 of the 9 starters tonight directly from the Braves farm system. During one of our earlier road trips to Texas with the DH in play, the Braves had 10 players in the starting lineup come from the system.
Another Mississippi alumnus, Blaine Boyer, in the bullpen. So Double-A has been the fast track to the big leagues this year. Easy tap to first. Walker steps on the bag. 2 out, and Francoeur, the hitter, is bounced out and struck out. That's part of the package with him. He's a young hitter. He's going to strike out a lot. He's got good running speed. Is an excellent defensive outfielder with a great throwing arm. And the Braves are confident he's going to hit, but they don't know when, whether it's going to be right now or whether he's going to need more seasoning. That's what we're in the process of finding out.
That's the question. How soon is too soon?
Upstairs, a ball and a strike. Right off the end of the bat, it's 1-2. He jerked his head a little bit on that pitch, trying to yank it. One and 2, the count. Chopped toward third, but foul. Still 1-2. Terrific crowd on hand for a weeknight in Atlanta. 40,000, I bet you. High and tight with a fastball. Got him, and the inning is over. And Williams, who staggered a bit the last 2 innings, breezes through the 6th.
Technique when I get in the... How you guys doing? This is Mr. Pauly Shore, and I am back
And this time, I'm getting serious. You just stay right there, and I'll just walk by serious. Okay, like this, like we're walking serious.
Minding the Store, a new comedy series, premieres July 17th on TBS.
Ronnie Cedeno pinch hits to lead off the 7th, and skies one. Andrew Jones out number 1. Cedeno 0 for 4 on the day. He was a starter at shortstop in game 1. Smoltz keeps on keeping on despite the foot, ankle, and hamstring problems. Nafi Perez, the batter, 0 for 3.
Close the book on Williams. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts for Chicago.
John Foster joins Boyer in the Atlanta bullpen. And Perez hits one right at Kelly Johnson. 2 pitches, 2 outs. One would think that Macias would take a pitch here. The Cubs are playing right into Smoltz's hands. He's out there hurting, and they're jumping at the first pitch. Thank you. The Braves have gotten into the Chicago bullpen, and we'll soon see how that works. Will Oman is still throwing, the left-hander for Chicago. Bunt on the third base line. 3 pitches, 3 outs. Ties a record held by many. Thank you, Chicago. Bottom of the 7th, 4-3 Cubs.
The know-how question of the game, built by the Home Depot, comes from Mary Ann Cavill of LaGrange, Kentucky, right on the Ohio River near the Indiana state border. When a rookie's brought up from the minors, Mary Ann asks, how's his salary determined?
Oh, you're asking me?
Well, you are our in-house expert.
The minimum salary is $316,000. First, Pete Orr leads off the bottom of the 7th and takes a strike. And you just prorate. In other words, Jeff Francoeur, if he joins the team today, from now on he'll make
half
whatever portion, roughly half of 316, unless your contract calls for something else. Some veteran players, that should be easy. Will Oman is the new pitcher, and Orr is retired, and Wilson Betterment will pinch hit here. You might have a minor league player at Richmond, for example, who has in his contract, if he's called to the big leagues, he makes $500,000, or roughly half that if he was called up this time of year. But generally speaking, you just prorate the major league minimum, which is not exactly chump change, $316,000. Wilson Betterment, the batter, and we thank you for the question. John Smoltz is done for the night. Jerome Williams went 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. John went 7, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. Oman delivers, and that's high and away, and it's 1-1.
Oman's missed the last couple of years for the Cubs with arm problems. Tommy John surgery for him.
I'll bet there'll be a day, I won't be around to see it, but where a guy has Tommy John surgery and he's back in a week.
Like arthroscopic surgery for the knee now?
How many great football players never were able to play again because of knee trouble back when I played, back in the 50s and 60s. Now those guys are back in 3 weeks or less.
Why aren't Doctors Job and Andrews in the Hall of Fame for all the careers that they saved and prolonged?
Don't get me started on that. They put announcers and sports writers in the Hall of Fame, but not scouts.
Or Marvin Miller.
Well, you know why that won't happen.
Of course. But you talk about people who revolutionized the game.
Yeah, that's right. 1-2 the count. Lined into right, but playable. Burnett has to come in fact. And Oman gets the first 2 men he faces. So he's been a bad omen if you're Atlanta fans so far tonight. And Rafael Furcal, who has a 2-run homer and a single in 3 tries, is the batter. Here's that home run.
No doubt about it. Shot into the Braves bullpen. That was the one mistake Jerome Williams made in tonight's game.
He gave the Cubs exactly what they needed, 6 strong innings. He was going to bunt. Did he pull the bat back? Yes, he did. 1 ball, no strikes.
And it's amazing how much better a team looks when they can actually score a run in a game. Cubs
Yes.
only had 1 in the first 3 tonight.
Roberto Novoa now in the Chicago bullpen. Again, he shortened the bunt. Again, he took a ball. 2-0. Kelly Johnson on deck. 2 out in the 7th. Braves trail by a run. Braves have won 15 of their last 20. High and outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Downstairs, he walked him on 4 straight after getting the first 2 out. Go figure. And a prolific base stealer who has 29 already this year is at first in a 1-run ball game with 2 out.
And a kid who knows the strike zone, handles the bat well, and even more importantly, a left-hand hitter, which could make the throw of Michael Barrett a little more difficult if Furcal decides to run.
This is the man Oman has to get, I would think, to stay in the game. They got the right-hand hitter Giles and the right-hander Novoa in the bullpen. Now Michael Barrett is going to talk to Oman and say, probably tell him that. Look, if you want to hang around, this is the guy you got to get. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first, 2 down. Curve started to go, no swing. 2-0. Holman, born in Frankfurt, Germany, lives in Agora Hills, California. Went to high school in Colorado. Out of Pepperdine University. Three balls, no strikes. All of a sudden he can't throw a strike. How can that happen? You get 2 tough major league hitters out and all of a sudden you can't throw a strike.
Same mystery for the 9th inning. 27th out for some reason, the most difficult one to get. And the difference between the 8th inning and the 9th inning for a relief pitcher. Lots of guys can pitch the 8th. Lots of guys can pitch the 9th. Some can pitch both. A lot can't.
The 3-0 pitch to Kelly. There's a strike. He's taking all the way. It's 3-1. Well, now if you want to do some running, this would be the pitch. 3 balls and a strike, 2 out. Furcal edges away. I would throw over there. They do not. He's not running, and it doesn't matter. Ground ball foul, 3-2.
He'll be running now.
One would hope. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three-two pitch. Strike 3 call over the inside corner. Kelly Johnson took 3 balls and then took 3 strikes, and the inning is over. Braves leave a runner, and after 7 they trail by 1.
Every weekend, millions of people are watching Into the West. TV Guide says I'm hooked. From executive producer Steven Spielberg and DreamWorks Television, Into the West. 3 chances to watch an all-new episode. See it Friday at 8 on TNT.
We go to the 8th inning. John Foster, the lefty, on to pitch for Atlanta. Todd Walker will lead it off against him, and as he does, to bring the rest of the way, on TBS, here's Chip Carey.
Hi, Dad. Thanks. Foster's had a good year. 28 appearances now for him. And you see that first batter faced stat. That's a biggie for a relief pitcher. he will face Walker to start it off. Walker's been in the middle of things for the Cubs. He scored 2 of their 4 runs. Again, he's playing for Derek Lee, out with a sore shoulder. Cubs are hoping Lee will be able to go at some point this weekend when they play the Marlins down in Florida. Walker skies a breaking ball into straightaway center. That's an easy play for Andrew. He's got it. And 1 man down. Now you've got Ramirez, then Hollandsworth and Burnitz. So let's see if Bobby Cox can get Foster to get out of Ramos. Ramirez hit the big blow in the game, a 2-run homer in the 6th. That turned it around for the Cubs. He's knocked in 3 of the 4 Chicago runs tonight. Bobby's an old school manager in that he's not one that goes by that so-called book that a lot of managers employ. Lefty versus lefty matchups, righty versus righty hitting matchups and all that. I mean, he pays close attention to those statistics and the way things work out. But his belief is if you're a good major league hitter, you can hit good major league pitching, whether they throw left-handed or right-handed. And conversely, if you're a good major league pitcher, you can get out right-handers if you're left-handed and left-handers if you're right-handed. Foster's the only left-hander in the Braves bullpen all season long. He's behind Ramirez, 2-1. Pops him up right side. Will it stay in play for LaRoche? 2-2 your count. Ramirez hit a 2-run homer off John Smoltz. Breaking ball down and over the middle of the plate. Ramirez didn't miss. The one mistake John made tonight. So he's hit 19 home runs for Chicago. As a play third base as well as he does defensively. Hit 300, hit 35 or 40 home runs, and knock in 100 are worth a king's ransom. And Ramirez signed to a big contract extension by the Cubs. He'll be there for quite some time. The 2-2 pitch. And now it's a full count with Hollandsworth waiting on deck. Washington already lost 3-2 to the Mets. Braves can come back and win this one tonight. They will be 3 games out of first with 3 to play before the All-Star break. High pop, shallow right. Jeff Francoeur should have no trouble. 2 men down for Hollandsworth, who has an RBI tonight. That came on a sacrifice fly in 4th. So Walker flies to center, Ramirez to right. Bags are empty for the Chicago left fielder Todd Hollandsworth. He was a Rookie of the Year with the Dodgers several years back. They had a run of what, 5 in a row out in LA.
Yeah, they had a bunch of them. I forget the exact number.
Piazza was 1. Karros was 1. So Foster, the luxury of a lefty matchup. Ground ball toward third. Pete Orr backs up. Patty cakes once, throws to first once, and it's 3 and out for the Cubs in the top of the 8th. It's getting late in Atlanta. Heart of the order coming up. Down a run to the Cubs.
Discover
The Braves Clubhouse Collection is your official source for Braves merchandise, including the new alternate jersey and cap. To find out more information on the right Braves merchandise for you, call the Braves catalog at Braves Catalog 1-800-433-BRAVES or visit the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Center.
That will switch to decaf in time for tomorrow night's game against the Brewers as Roberto Novoa checks in for Chicago. They traded Kyle Farnsworth to the Tigers to get this guy, and he's been a reliable setup man the last couple of weeks. 6 straight scoreless innings over 5 relief appearances, and he's going to set it up for Ryan Dempster, who's loosening in the Cub bullpen. When Dempster took over as their closer, the bullpen really started to straighten itself out for Chicago. Not an easy inning for Novoa. Giles, Jones, and LaRoche. Oh, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball missed. 2 balls and a strike to Marcus Giles. 2 out of 3 in game 2 of the day-night doubleheader. High drive, hammered right field, deep. Burnitz back to the track, to the wall. It is off the top of the wall. Giles around second, on his way to third. He's going to reach safely, and how in the world did Burnitz keep that in the park? That was a miraculous play by Burnitz. And how close did Giles come from tying the game?
Inches. He hit the daylights out of this ball, and Burnitz took some punishment here. He had the ball in his glove, and the fence knocked it loose. A great effort. You got to give him a lot of credit. He took some punishment trying to make that play.
That guy's a pro's pro and a man's man out there. He does not give you any excuses. That's a triple for Giles. Tying run 90 feet away for Andrew. Infield in. Strike call. Here's a look at his scorecard brought to you by T-Mobile. Andrew is 0 for 3 here tonight. A fly ball ties it up. It's 4-3 Chicago. 0-2. Dempster getting ready in a big hurry for the Cubs. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball left center field. That ball crushed. That ball is out of here. Home runs before the break. Only Andres Galarraga's hit that many in a Braves uniform.
And it's an 0-2 pitch and a fastball down. He wanted it down and away. He got it over the middle half of the plate, and Novoa very upset with himself. An 0-2 pitch. He made it far too good.
What a half for Andrew Jones. 27 home runs for Andrew Jones.
Now the youngster has to get calm. He is so upset with himself that he's fighting himself a little bit.
And Novoa down 2-0. He's got great stuff. But 2 pitches in this inning were absolutely hammered, and Larry Rothschild agrees with you. He's going to calm him down now. They don't want this lead to get any bigger than 1.
Activity in the bullpen. Glendon Rush throwing for the Cubs, and I don't see anybody in the Atlanta bullpen.
Not yet. Now they're going to stir around.
Rietzner was up earlier, Glenn tells us, and he'll probably get up again here.
That's outside and low. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. When it rains, it pours. Tonight, the Cubs score 4 runs. The history of that team, usually it's enough for them to win. 3 balls and a strike to LaRoche. Ground ball right side. Macias olays that. That's into right field. He didn't get in front of that ball. And LaRoche with some top spin has his second hit. 3 hits in the inning against Novoa. All the Braves need is the double to hit for the cycle in the frame.
That'll probably be a hit, but he should have at least knocked this ball down. If he knocks it down, he can still throw him out.
And now on instructions from the Cub dugout, the entire left side of the infield is going to come out and talk to Novoa. And speaking of rain, we hope the Cubs and their traveling party have a safe trip down to South Florida, where the hurricane is moving toward the Gulf.
Rietzner is up again in the Atlanta bullpen.
And Dusty Baker's seen enough of Novoa here tonight. So he can't retire a man. He gives up 3 hits, a couple of runs so far. No walks, no strikeouts, of course, and that long home run off the bat of Andrew Jones. Braves have turned the game around. What a first half for Andrew Jones. It's 5-4, and again we join Mark Fine.
All right, thanks very much, Chip. Welcome back to TBS Sports Control, presented by MasterCard. We're going to give those busy bats of the Braves. A little bit of a rest. Trade them in for a golf club. You see, the 134th Open Championship is upon us, and as Jim Huber tells us, a few of the final spots were decided last week.
International qualifying for the 134th British Open Championship took place June 27th at Canoe Country Club in New Jersey. And although the tournament featured a large contingent of former major champions, none of the veterans shot well enough to earn a trip to St. Andrews. Instead, Americans Duffy Waldorf and Tom Pernice Jr. led a group of 14 qualifiers who braved 36 holes in the rain and secured a berth in this year's field. Some of the more familiar players earning invitations to the Open, American Bo Van Pelt and Australia's Robert Allenby. A reminder that coverage of the British Open Championship to be played at historic St. Andrews begins Thursday, July 14th at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, only on TNT.
You know what they want. Get the family share plan from Verizon Wireless. Get up to 3 lines for only $9.99 each after signing up for the first 2 lines. Now buy one Motorola V265 camera phone and get the second one free. Then start calling on the nation's most reliable wireless network. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Kick off the summer at Fridays with the fresh flavors of our new Fiesta menu, featuring 6 amazing dishes, like our Fiesta Fajitas with Chipotle chicken. Everyone could use more Fridays. It's not coming off.
Roberto Novoa, a tough 8th inning, and McCann tries to bunt, lays down a beauty toward third. Ramirez to second. Not in time. He gambled and lost. And Dusty Baker is out to argue. LaRoche in safely. Nafi Perez an argument. And here comes Dusty Baker.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him get thrown out here just to try to fire his team up.
Dusty does a heck of a job of arguing and never losing the toothpick.
Let's all umpire it together. Looked safe on that angle, didn't he? Bang, bang. Tie goes to the runner, they say. I think that's when you argue either way. Ryan Langerhand's going to run at first base. So, no, he's not. He's going to run at second base.
So LaRoche will come out of the game. A high-risk, high-reward play for Aramis Ramirez. He trying to get the leading runner at second. Didn't get him. Now the Braves have a chance for an even bigger inning. 2 are on, 2 are in. Nobody's out. And again, Jeff Francoeur is the hitter against Brendan Rush, who was 5-3 this year for the Cubs. He's done a terrific job pitching out of the bullpen and as a starter. One of the signs of how good your pitching coach is what he can do with reclamation projects. Braves fans know all about the veteran guys they brought in here, and Leo Mazzoni's helped turn around. Brendan Rush a couple of years ago was 1-12 with Milwaukee. Since coming to Chicago and including this year, Brendan Rush is 13-5 under that man's tutelage, Larry Rothschild. 1 ball, 1 strike to Francoeur. Braves have a 5-4 lead. Try to sweep away the Cubbies and pull to within 3 of Washington. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Line out of play foul.
You might expect Francoeur to bunt in this spot, but I don't know how much experience he's had sacrificing runners. He's a third, number 3, number 4 hitter in his young pro career.
We'd love to see him get Ryan to third base here. The pitch. And they're feeding him a steady diet of stuff out and away from it. Now it's a full count.
They got, excuse me, Chip, they got him with a high fastball in his last time up. Let's see what they do with a left-hander pitcher.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners hold. Pitch swung on. Hammered center field. Deep. Patterson back to the infield. Track. Wall. It's gone. 3-run homer. Jeff Francoeur's first big league hit a bomb.
David and Karen, his parents, can't believe it. You know when your kid does well in Little League? Well, this is that times about 100,000. Wow.
I'll tell you what, during this incredible stretch where all these kids have come up, all of them in their debuts seemingly have had hits. As Pete Orr fouls it away. The Braves busted open. It's 8-4 in the 8th. The crowd wants and gets a curtain call.
The other nice thing about the Francoeur story, he's like the savior. You know, he's the guy you read about all the time out of the minor leagues. #1 draft choice, big money, football star, could have played college football. But there's no jealousy at all. The people who played with this kid just love him.
Slap to left field for Orr. That's going to go into the corner. Hollingsworth, momentum carries him into foul ground, and Orr will slide in with a double. The Braves have hit for the cycle in the 8th inning alone. 2 homers, a single, a double, and a triple.
Here's the first of what the Braves think will be many. A fastball right down the gut. And he turned on it and hit a line drive past Phil Niekro. And there's the family. They don't even need a car to get home tonight. Here comes Dusty Baker. He's going to double switch. But his moves have not worked tonight, and that's part of this business.
Yeah, Novoa couldn't get anybody out. Glendon Rush couldn't get anybody out. Although Dusty thought that on the sacrifice bunt by McCann, they got Adam LaRoche at second base. Didn't work out that way. 5 runs are in the 8th. And Mark Fine, Braves are sitting pretty here in the 8th inning, leading 8-4.
All right, thanks. That's what baseball's all about, huh? Jeff Francoeur, what a moment for the Braves, and how much fun has it been to watch these young guys. You know, the Braves had needed this help because they're in such a tough division. You want to compare it to the National League West. The San Diego Padres, 13-21 since May 30th. They've increased the lead in their division by a game and a half. San Diego and Houston tonight. All San Diego in this one. Ramon Hernandez, the 2-run single here, makes it a 7-1 game over the Astros. This one right now 7-2, bottom of the 6th. Back with more Braves after a quick timeout.
I hear that you guarantee all your work. Is that true?
Yes,
Can you have our van ready in time for the canoe trip this afternoon?
absolutely.
Are your 3,000 certified mechanics guided by the ideals of the young voyagers? He's one of us! Yay!
Visit Midas and get brake pads or shoes for $39.95 plus installation. We'll provide a written estimate for installation and fully explain any additional work needed. For mechanics known for their work and their word,
trust the Midas touch.
8-4, bottom of the 8th inning. First major league hit for Jeff Francoeur, a biggie.
Can you imagine the feeling that he must have? That's what every kid, I don't care how old, I'm 65 years old, I dreamed of doing that someday. How few get the chance to experience it.
And I'm sure we'll try to get the list for you, but how many guys in the Braves franchise history have had their first hit be a major league home run? We'll have Brian Moyer check that out with our friends at Stats Inc. or Elias. First major league hit for a home run in Braves history. A 404-foot line drive to center. As you look at Ryan Dempster, a former starting pitcher with the Florida Marlins, and now the closer for the Cubs, another veteran of Tommy John surgery, and a guy with a turbo sinker, a nasty slider. Franco pinch hitting, bouncing ball. Macias stabs and fires to first in time. Terrific play up the middle, or to third with one out. Franco robbed of a hit.
This is a much tougher play than the one he couldn't make earlier. A super play by Macias to get Franco, runner at third, one out.
When Dempster became the closer, the Cubs bullpen got a whole lot better. And with the injuries to Wood and Pryor, Dempster had to start some games this year for Chicago. It's really been mix and match and patch and fill for Chicago with that staff. Here's Furcal, 8th man to hit in the inning. Infield in for the Cubs. A 5-run 8th. As the Braves with 4 extra base hits. Look at Furcal. The pitch to Furcal, a strike. Dan Cole is up in the Braves bullpen. He's been pitching better of late. Ritzma's up as well with Dan in the bullpen. Ball and a strike for Call.
I would guess that Cole will get the call here. Ritzman's been used 3 nights in a row, though he did get last night off because of the rain. We'll see.
To his credit, Dan's pitched a whole lot better of late. 2 balls and a strike. Way high, ball 3. 3-1.
That's why the All-Star game is, they call that the end of the first half. It's really not. It's beyond the first half. But you can sort of rededicate yourself during the break and turn a bad season into a good one, or of course vice versa.
What's the old saying? You don't win pennants in June, but you can lose them.
That's right. Dan Cole can still be a big part of the proceedings here if he keeps pitching the way he has in recent days.
Again, there's a lot of this tale yet to be told for the Braves 2005 season, but as Furcal swings through it and is out number 2, you've got to be wondering what the rest of the East is thinking. With all that the Braves have gone through this year, all the injuries, all the youngsters, knowing that Hudson, Hampton, and Thompson are going to be coming back in the second half of the year, that Chipper Jones is going to be coming back shortly after the break, that no one buried this Braves team, they may live to regret that.
Same thing happened last year. Injuries, bad first half. Guys like Nick Green came up and Charles Thomason saved the day last year.
So lots of heroes for Atlanta tonight as they try to make a winner of John Foster. 1 ball, no strikes to Kelly Johnson. Runner at third, Pete Orr. Remember, in the second half of the year, Braves have 10 games left with the Nationals, 7 of them in this ballpark. We'll face them after our first road trip of the second half, an extravaganza that goes to New York, San Francisco, and Arizona. And then the Nationals come in
on the 26th
for a 3-game series, 26th, 27th, and 28th. So snap up those tickets now. That's going to be A terrific series. Nationals have Jose Vidro back, by the way. 3-0 count. And 3 balls and a strike. Five runs are in the 8th. 3 balls and a strike to Kelly. And another base on balls. So 10 men will come to the plate. And Marcus Giles, the man that started it off, how differently would this inning have turned around had Jeremy Burnett's been able to hang on to that ball at the wall. He made a great effort. Instead, it was in the webbing of the glove. Burnett slammed into the wall. It popped away from him. Giles ended up at third. Andrew Jones hit a home run, and the Braves were off and running. First and third, 2 outs for Marcus. And he looks at a strike. Another 3-hit game for Giles tonight. 2 singles, a triple, and that run scored. Ball 1, strike 1. Washington lost earlier today. The Mets beat him.
By the way, I'm shocked by the crowd. It's announced at 34,847. I thought they were better than 40,000 here. I am, as so often the case, wrong.
Still though on a rainy start to the day. 67,000 fans through the turnstiles here in Atlanta. And the Braves 1 inning away perhaps from doing something they haven't done to the Cubs since 1992, and that's sweep them. Ground ball up the middle into center field for a hit. 4-hit game for Giles. Pete Orr scores to make it 9-4. Kelly Johnson stops at second.
This guy's just a good hitter. He took a breaking ball, flicked his wrists, sent it right back up the middle.
In Chicago, that ball might have been an out with the thick grass. Here it skipped on through. Dempster got the ground out, or ground ball he wanted, but didn't get the out.
4-hit game for Marcus.
Andrew Jones checked his swing and fouled it away. Boy, the Cubs bullpen, Navoa and Rush, an ERA killer tonight. Combined 0 innings, 5 hits, and 6 earned runs. And Larry Rothschild will take his pitching staff down to Florida. 0-1 the count to Andrew. 27 home runs for him. He's 1 shy of the big cat. He hit 28 of them in the first half several years ago here with the Braves.
And 3 games to go after this one against Milwaukee.
Who, despite a losing record, are not at all cupcakes. They are a real good-looking club.
I want to see this kid Weeks play. They say
Ricky
he's
Weeks, yeah,
special.
Carlos Lee playing the outfield for him, a big power hitter. Brady Clark taking over for Scott Posednik in the outfield. Maybe the biggest surprise has been the job that Mike Maddox has done with that Brewers pitching staff. He's done a real good job, and a lot of that work done without Ben Sheets, who had an inner ear problem earlier this season, missed a lot of time. So we'll see them starting tomorrow night. 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3, 3-1. Good to see our pal Darren Sutton, Don's son, come in with the Brewers TV crew.
And they always, one of my favorite people ever, Bob Uecker, the radio voice, former Braves catcher.
That's a strike. I'm sure Bob is probably watching our game now as the Brewers are in town.
He's probably here at the park somewhere.
Might be. He'd probably want me to send a shout out to his friends at the Sea Ray Boat Company, as he usually goes fishing before the night games in Milwaukee.
He's probably up there in the front row somewhere.
Could be. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Grounder towards short. Neifi Perez will take nothing to chance and make the long toss across in time. The Braves send 11 men to the plate. Andrew Jones homer. Jeff Francoeur's first big league hit left the park, much to his family and Braves fans' delight. A curtain call as Atlanta needs 3 outs for a sweep.
The home run department and gave the Braves the lead.
So to the top of the 9th we go. Ryan Langerhans is into play right field. Julio Franco takes over defensively at first, and Chris Rietsma, with the day off yesterday, a chance to keep himself sharp with Jeremy Burnitz going to work first. Cubs have lost 6 in a row. Braves trying to make it 7 in a row. Yikes.
That was a rejuvenating inning for Atlanta there in the 8th.
9-4 the score. It's just the last Brave to homer in his first big league at bat, or have his first hit be a home run. Mike Hessman did that in 2003. Popped up. McCann will give chase. No play. Steve Sisko did it in May of 2000. Marty Malloy in September of '98. Eddie Perez in September of 1995. One ball, 2 strikes. The count to Burnitz. He's walked twice and hit into a double play.
They get a little giddy on the bench.
1 out. Why not? Burnitz will argue.
It's going to be a long flight to Florida for the Cubs. 8 losses in a row, and they had this one in hand and let it slip away.
And even worse for them, they fall further behind in the wild card race, which the Braves are leading. Here's Barrett. Michael 0 for 2 with a walk. Rietsma missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
People say, well, with all the money these guys make, they don't really care if they win or lose. Hey, yeah, exactly. If you play tiddlywinks with your grandchild, you want to win. It's just human nature.
The Cubs entered the day losers of 6 in a row, 7 in a row after game 1, which matches their longest of the year. This one should be 8 in a row. Let's see if anybody can catch that. Yes, nice jump by Kelly Johnson in left. He ran forever. Long fly out for Barrett. 2 down. And the contrast in this game, the bullpen work. So far, the Braves bullpen, an inning and 2/3 perfect. The Cubs bullpen tonight, 2 innings, 6 runs. And they're 1 out away are the Cubbies from an 8-game slide and falling 4 games under 500. Corey Patterson.
Lose 8 in a row and fly into a hurricane. That's when you're.
Sums up your year, doesn't it?
You're not going too good.
1 ball, no strikes. The wind of the 1-0 pitch. Rolled foul to even up the count.
We're going to try to visit, by the way, with Jeff Francoeur for a moment after the game, see how that first hit of his career played in his mind.
One ball, 1 strike. 1 more, and we await the Brew Crew.
Well, you're at least half right. We await the Brew. Brew comes in tomorrow night.
The 1-2 pitch. Yeah, as a kid, this would be about the time when at the old ballpark I'd go and see your old friend Mr. Lord.
Yes. God rest his soul.
The 2-2 pitch to Corey Patterson. Inning over, game over. Braves sweep the Cubs with a huge 6-run 8th inning. 9-4 the final score. Chris Rietsma, a perfect 9th inning. John Foster wins it. Roberto Novoa takes the loss, and a wonderful night for the entire Francoeur family as Jeff's first big league hit, a long home run. Andrew Jones tallied one as well, and the Braves a very profitable day in National League Eastern play. We'll tie that all up for you when we come back. 9-4 again, your final score, totals and highlights after this.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
He's in a grove.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Braves TBS Baseball, brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By Delta. Get Delta's lowest fares and earn 1,000 Sky Miles every time you fly a round-trip ticket purchased on Delta.com. Delta. Good goes around. And by Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
Well, how sweep it is. The Braves take care of the Cubs, win all 4 games of this series, 9-4 the final, and big innings the story in today's play. The Braves had a 5-run 5th, winning game 1 6-0. Here in game 2, the Cubs made it interesting late before the Braves tallied 6 runs, 6 hits in the 8th inning, and end up taking care of the Cubs in handy fashion. Foster the winner, Novoa the loser. And a brisk 2-hour and 41-minute game saw a very special moment or two tonight.
And the guy who accomplished it, Jeff Francoeur, is with us down on the field. How did that feel? Every little kid, every male child who's played T-ball and Little League always dreams about something like what happened to you tonight. How did it feel, Jeff?
It was unbelievable. I'll tell you what, you know, I was pressing, I think, a little bit early and trying to do a little too much. I was swinging some stuff, obviously, that wasn't in my wheelhouse. And you know, TP came up to me before the last at bat and just said, you know, just concentrate. And
he just got wiped out by Marcus Childs. And so did our microphone. Let's see if he can rejoin. Now we'll see what you made out, Jeff. He can't hear us. He has been wiped out. He has been tied out by Giles.
David and Karen Francoeur's parents looking on. This, I'm sure, a very special moment. What?
Y'all there?
Yeah. All right, well, the question is for you.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Is that shaving cream?
That was shaving cream,
yeah.
So it tasted good.
Marcus Giles is the man, by the way. Dead men tell no tales.
Absolutely. But, no, TP, you know, came up to me before the game or before the last bat and just said that, you know, this guy likes to try to work it outside and just, you know, to stay with it, hit the ball the opposite field. And luckily I was able to work the count to 3-2. And, you know, he's kind of forced to come to me when we got runners at first and second. And so I was just looking for something a little bit up, and I got it and put a good swing on it. So.
Jeff, tell us about the last 24, 48 hours for you. I know you and your family were making plans to go to Detroit to play in that Futures game, and then you get the call to come to the major leagues. How awesome was that to make that phone call to your parents to say you're coming to the show and to get the call in the first place from the Braves?
It was awesome. You know, the Futures game was fun. We had a good weekend playing, but obviously, you know, this totally outweighs it. And, you know, I'm just happy as can be to be here and just playing with the team and trying to help them, playing with Brian and Blaine and the rest of the guys. And it was, you know, also special to be out there with Smoltz pitching tonight.
Do you think any added pressure because you're the #1 draft choice and a lot has been written about you as the coming superstar and so on and so forth? Does that affect you at all?
You know, I think, like I said, I think I tried to add a little pressure to myself early tonight, and I shouldn't have done that. Should have just gone up there with a better mindset. And but you know, hopefully this will help me, and you know, come out tomorrow night, or you know, if I'm in the lineup, and you know, just be able to calm down. It was definitely a weight off my shoulder, and it feels good to get the first game done. And it was unbelievable to be able to play here in Atlanta in front of the home crowd, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever forget.
Well, congratulations. You did a terrific job. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Jeff Francoeur. Here are your totals for the game tonight. For Atlanta, 9 runs, 14 hits, no errors, 6 left. For the Cubs, 4-6-0 with 5 left. John Foster in relief, the winner, 2-1. Roberto Novoa in relief, 2-2. Time of the game, 2 hours, 41 minutes. $34,849 paid to see it.
And a hug and a kiss from Mom and Dad, David and Karen Francoeur, as Jeff, a major leaguer, his first hit, a long home run tonight. Braves red hot. They sweep away the Cubs, and will try to keep up their good work tomorrow night on Turner South at 7:30 Eastern. That's our next telecast, as we get our first look at Ned Yost's Milwaukee Brewers. Our next TBS telecast right after the All-Star break, July 14th at 7 Eastern. The Braves are in the Big Apple to take on the New York Mets. Up next on TBS on the East Coast, great flick, Zoolander. And out west, it's Yes Dear. For my dad, Skip Carey, for Glenn Diamond, Gary Lehman, and our entire crew, Chip Carey from Turner Field. Braves sweep the Cubs 9-4, your final until tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.